everybody. The one I'm using tonight is Lisa from Sweet and Sassy Treasures. It is Wednesday at 4 o'clock. It's over here, Pam, hanging up, which means it is time for a memory tile. I am live every Tuesday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Tuesdays, I do who knows what, but this is what we did yesterday. And I could not be happier with it. We actually stamped on tissue paper and attached that to the Hello Pumpkins mold. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Mary. Use the Apothecary label stamp and the Chateau paint inlay. On Wednesdays, I almost always do, thank you, a memory tile. Sometimes if I'm finishing up a project or holiday time, maybe I won't, but today we're going more classic. The last 2 weeks, I've been doing Halloween. We did the ghosts. And so today I'm going to use a piece of the Delft Traditions Noir and some of the Trimmings molds. Hi, Joey. Hi, Sherry. Sherry says she hopes you're feeling better today, Pam. Hi, Suzanne, and thank you for sharing. So I'm going to flip my camera over and we're going to get started. There we go. Let me brighten this up a little bit. So the Delft Traditions paint inlay comes in Noir and blue. And it is after Delft pottery was what it was designed after. And there are all of these amazing 4 pages that have different size design elements. Love these little ones too. And then you've got patterns and some trim pieces. So that's what comes in this.
I like it so much more once you open it. Like, it's so funny when you pick
Yes.
it. Hi, everybody. Hi,
so
Suzanne and
I
Sheila.
am looking at this sheet in particular, and the piece that I cut out was right here, that piece. And so that's what I want to use. I may or may not use Apothecary labels on this. I don't know yet. I've got to wait until it's done before I decide. So I'm going to give this to Pam so I don't wreck it. Yep. Although they're like so durable. And then this piece is going to go, it's a little shy, short. So I'm going to center it and make sure that I get the full piece up there. And then I'm going to use trimmings pieces for the bottom part. So I have my trimming pieces. I smushed one, so I may not be using that one. Somehow it got smushed, but we'll see. I like to use clay on my tiles because they look more old world with the cracks and the irregularities. Hello, everybody.
Oh, hi, Kathy.
Okay, so I'm going to use tarnished pearl. I don't want my paint to be white, and I didn't want it to be cream. So tarnished pearl is the perfect in between. It is. So I always use white paint as a base because I don't always know what I'm going to do. And if I'm decoupaging, then you want a white base. So I'm going to pull off just those couple of pieces of clay.
We're glad you're back too, Kathy. Hard to catch live sometimes.
It is. Life gets in the way for sure. Oh, that could be just some of the embossing medium. So I've got it coated, and now I want to make sure that I get good coverage. So the paint inlay is only going to go on the top section. Well, you know what, Pam? I don't have my phone set up on my tripod.
Are you still recording this too? No,
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. How can I remind you if I don't know that?
probably can't. So just give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry. For Instagram.
Instagrammable moments.
I have to record
Peggy.
going portrait mode versus landscape mode for YouTube. So, yeah. So give me just a second.
Thank you, Peggy.
And this tripod, it's like so tight to get my camera in there.
Yeah, break that in, huh?
Okay, let me see here. It should be good. What's going to happen is my arm's going to get in the way. Okay, so I added the embossing medium probably only an hour and a half ago. So it's not totally dry yet. And I just used the paint and then had a little bit of a delay. And I want to make sure that it's wet. So that's why I just spritzed it with water. So now I know I have good wet coating to get my inlay into. So I want to focus on and I don't want to move it once I get it in place because it transfers super quickly. So I'll get it on there and then I'll take my handy dandy felt thingy. I don't want to get paint on here though. And then, can I just have that paper towel, please? Thank you. And then I want to make sure that I have good adhesion. So I'm just going to take a paper towel and rub that in. So super good contact between anywhere there's paint and your surface. After I do that, I'm going to spritz it with water. I'm going to try not to get the water underneath the edge. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is that this inlay is not black. It's sepia tone. So it's Noir, I think in French translates to black, but this isn't black. I can tell you that. It has a little red in it. So then once I get that on there, I just dab off the excess. So what would happen if I got paint under that edge or water under that edge? The worst that could happen is it could smear my paint on my inlay.
Thanks for sprinkling, Tracy.
So now I'm going to dry it. I am concerned that I don't have enough water right here. And again, I don't want it to go underneath.
I'm sorry, what happens if it goes underneath? It'll make it run?
It can make the paint run.
Oh, yeah.
But just because it looks like it's running now doesn't mean it's going to look like it ran when you lift it off. So they're pretty forgiving. And then you can just cover it up with your background color if that did happen.
Aileen says hi, Lisa.
Hi, Aileen. It was nice to meet you today. Sorry, I got something in my... So you can see once it starts getting a gray hue to it. Excuse my reach. I gotta...
Sheila, how do you prevent the water from getting underneath, Lisa? Precaution.
Well, one thing I normally do is cut it bigger, at least like 1/8 of an inch bigger than my board. And then I don't have an edge for the water to seep under. That's dry already. But let me just set this? Where am I going to just set this down on the ground because I can't reach there. But if I know that that's there, I'm going to make sure I don't spray from this direction. I'm going to spray from that direction and just gently tap. But that's one of the things that I've learned. So normally it's totally preventable. So now I can see it's not totally dry. Hold on. Because I can see the difference in the colors of paint. So if you look right here, you can see more intensity of color in the paint. That isn't going to affect my inlay, but it's enough that I'm going to make sure that my inlay is really dry. It would probably transfer beautifully right now, but if there's something that I notice, I'm going to just take care of it. And that's really good. Okay, so now I'm going to spritz it. Again, making sure that I don't get water underneath the edge. If you don't spritz it, then you're not going to be able to easily pull the carrier sheet up. And what that means is chances are you'll pull off the paint that's on the wood, and then that's covering up your paint inlay. So you just won't get a result. So here we go. Normally I would ooh and ah at this stage because it's so cool.
I'll ooh and ah.
So now that's paint. It's not a sealer paint. It's a clay-based paint is what I think. It's an artisan grade, so I don't really know what it's made out of. But so you want to make sure that you spray seal this before you apply any water-based products. And all I have to do is make sure that the paint inlay is dry.
I can see a couple more coming off this thing too. How much color still on there?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'll show them. You want to just spray that real quick?
That's a lot.
So the inlay will pick up normally some of the paint off of your surface. And normally it looks much less intense than this. So this would be a really beautiful second transfer. Sometimes I like the second transfer look better than the first because it's more vintage looking. So that would make a really pretty one. So Pam's spraying that just like I did yesterday. And then here are the trimmings pieces. This is from Trimmings 1. That one's from Trimmings 1. This is Trimmings 2. In my opinion, the most popular trimming piece because it's definitely the most popular mold. This is Classic Elements. And then this is Trimmings 2, but you can see where I messed it up a little bit, but not a big deal. I've got to see what's going to fit. So as soon as I make a decision about which ones I want to use, I'm going to paint them. So I have a little bit of running on this edge. I'm just going to like that. And that was the tarnished pearl that ran. So that's spray sealed.
I see where you're going here.
I'm going to dry that. So don't be afraid of paint inlays. And I'd love to offer, if you've never used one, in your next order, in the comment section, just put, I've never used a paint inlay, and I will send you a piece of one to play with. And that way you're not wasting your money.
Oh, yay. Yeah. I've actually never used one either.
Okay, I'm going to zoom out. And now I'm going to look to see which of these I want to use.
It is gorgeous. Sherry says it's gorgeous. It looks very noiry. It looks very black in the picture. That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny because it is really, so yeah, I'm gonna end up probably just using 3 of these like that. And actually, I think I'm going to switch the order. Put that up there. That there. And this here. And again, they're out of clay. You know what? I just don't like that as well, though. So we're not going to do it that way.
Oh. Sheila said, "Can I comment in my order in the section? I suck with inlays."
You can. You can absolutely comment that. So let me see. I don't know. There's something about that I like. I know it's backward because the small's on the bottom, but maybe that's what I like about it. I guess we could just try one more thing here.
It's pretty funny, Sheila.
For sure won't like that.
Big old laughy face.
I'm gonna stick with my first idea, which was that one. All right. So I need the tight bond, please. I am half off the chair because I don't want to move it because of Luna, which is ridiculous. So I made these so that they would get a coating on the top of them before the live, but I didn't want to make them last night because then they wouldn't be pliable. So there's like a sweet spot where you get like a crust on the top. And that for me seems to be about, 2 hours. So I'm going to put this one on first. But you can see the little cracks that you get, and you don't get that from resin. Now the downside of that sweet spot is it's harder to cut the clay. And as you can see, I make mine longer than the board, so they need to be trimmed. So they're nice and pliable still, so I can make good contact. I just wanted to get that edge down. That one piece. And then that one's going to go right there. This one would just be, I could trim it. So if I wanted to use this one, I would just cut it down, and with this narrow one, I can just run a bead of glue right onto my board. So I still have time if I wanted to, like, let's say there's too big of a gap and I want to have that closer to the bottom. So I still have time to move these a little bit. And I can take a little brush, use this one, get off the excess glue, although it doesn't really matter. To cut my pieces, I just take a credit card, hotel room key. I save them everywhere. There we go. So I will take a board that is hopefully the same height. And I'll slide it under like that. And then I'll just take and cut it. Smooth that edge out. And now I'm going to flip it around. And do the same thing. I try and be careful that I don't want this to arch. Which is why I tend to use the short side. That's nice and flush. This one's just a little long. There we go. Get that out of the way. And I can just smooth that out. And if you want to, take a little bit of water on your finger. Same over here. Let me just trim that just a little more. There we go.
There we go. Oh, I love it.
Let me hold it up and make sure everything seems straight.
With Sculpey clay, Tracy said. I didn't know if you answered.
Yes. Sorry, I'm not looking at comments. Okay. So because this is sealed already, and I need to cover a little bit of that lower edge where I didn't get enough tarnished pearl. But to be safe, I'm going to seal. Now I can use a water-based sealer because the lacquer sealer is already on here. So I'm going to seal with Big Top.
Shannon was up at 5 o'clock catching up on your golden ticket videos and the texture video. And the pumpkin is stunning. We brought it back here. I want to make sure we show them.
Oh, they saw it. And I'll show it again, though.
Yeah. Loving this. Hi, Michelle.
I did go on live late last night to show everybody the crackle that I did. That was fun. Do I have tarnished pearl in there? I do not. Okay, good to know.
Oh boy, everybody was up. Were you up late last night too, Lisa? Everybody was up late last night.
I'm always up late. Oh, Shannon, I know we were talking. So we were up late. We were talking through one of the posts. I think on the
Lisa
line.
does her best shopping in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And then sometimes stuff shows up on my porch and it's like, where'd that come from?
And you're not even drunk. You're not like drunk stuff.
No, but it's after I take something to help me sleep. That's when I don't remember. So I want to dry this. You can't see, but I have some cracked texture right there. That's what I love when that happens. And I think we're going to end up using crackle in this, you guys. But we'll get a good look at what it's going to look like before the crackle. All right, tarnished pearl it is. Do I have somewhere that I can? Yeah, that's out. Yeah, who knows?
No. Do you have a spot or no?
Yeah, where I have white, so it'll be good. So when your clay is, this is so clogged, we're gonna have to take the lid off and clean it off. when your clay is wet, you want to make sure that you use a pretty soft bristled brush, or you can kind of, see, I'll be able to wipe that right back where I got it on the paint inlay.
Gotta use a light hand, right? Otherwise it'll
Yeah,
smush it.
it could smush it. I have a nice crust on there, but. So I did quite a few tiles with this bottom trimming section, and I had forgotten about them. And so I had a custom order to do that used the trimming piece, and it was like, oh, I need to do that again.
Didn't you do them all on one, like just trimming on the whole thing?
Yes, that's
That was
upstairs.
beautiful.
Yeah, on the diagonal. Yeah, that's one of my
definitely-
favorites.
Oh, great. Thanks, Sheila. Oh, I poured resin pumpkin and leaves last night. Hey, Denise.
It's, you know, this time of year, I can only speak for myself. And I don't know if it's because we have so much humidity, but I'm ready for the humidity to go away. And so fall is just such a beautiful time of year, but then you know the snow's around the corner, so that kind of
Yes.
stinks. When I used to have my brick and mortar store and people would come in and didn't know anything about IOD, they'd want to know which mold to start with. And this piece right here from Classic Elements, there are just so many amazing things on that mold that that's the one we would always tell people to get. I want to make sure I do the side.
That and Rose Fall, right? Like
Rose
two
Twirl
different-
was the stamp, yeah. Now it would be to me, the must-have stamp is the new one, ephemeral type.
Yes.
I just think
Oh,
that
there's
one
so
has
many more now,
so
yeah.
much to offer. Kindest Regards is another kind of an important one. You know, the staples that you can use for so many things, journals, and I'm just getting the bottom of that trimmings piece.
That's tarnished pearl again, isn't it? I love that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to dry this. So I usually don't put my camera on the right side because being right-handed, my head constantly goes in the way.
Yeah. And loves because it's the play more inside when it's, you know,
Yeah. Well, you probably get more snow, Shannon, than we do.
I love the pumpkin. And you said this yesterday. Yes, me too, Carol. It's beautiful.
I haven't put that one in my store yet. I need to do that, but I wanted to.
Showed it today.
Yeah, I'll show it again. So I could have done a better job painting this, but I'm going to use sealer next, so it's not going to matter. I'm going to take a brush, water, and lightly try and clear the paint off of there.
Shannon, I love when we get buried with snow. Snow days are my friend.
Oh, I used to love them when I taught. So I want to be careful, even though this is sealed, I still want to be a little bit careful.
My husband's such a spaz. I get excited when there's a rain day, so I can just sit in the house
Can
and
I
be lazy.
have a baby wipe, please?
And not
So
feel-
the tarnished pearl,
no
it's
guilt.
tarnished pearl in both spots, but you can see a difference, and that's because this is sealed. So the dry DIY dries out and becomes, you know, a little chalky. And when it's sealed, it just becomes vibrant again. Okay, so now I'm going to seal this. I'm pushing it with my finishes. I'm going to need a clean paper plate because I'm going to use sealer. I hope you guys can see okay.
Yeah, looks good from there.
Hi, Lynn. Having heat stroke temp says, no, Janet, you're kidding. 106?
Where?
That is crazy. You think I'd know where she lives from shipping packages. Is tarnished pearl at all close to crinoline? Oh, Sheila, I love this question. So it's funny. You've got your 3 different whites, which vintage linen I never use. Feel like, well, let me just move it up a little bit.
Thank you, Shannon. A little bit, yes.
And then crinoline is a yellow-based off-white. So it's creamy, yellow-based off-white. And then tarnished pearl is a gray-based off-white. So if I'm doing warm colors, then I'll use the crinoline. But if you made me say something about what color it pulls, you know, I'm going to say it pulls yellow. It doesn't. But when you compare it to tarnished pearl, you can see the yellow base that it has. Pam's doing a little sample board. And I would have never in a million years thought that DIY needed another off-white. And I'm just actually, that's what Debbie Beard, who owns the company, said. But it filled in such a nice gap in the off-white colors. And then to confuse you even more, because normally I would use D&D and black chiffon, but because this isn't black, I'm going to be using weathered wood for my aging, as opposed to just D&D. So I want to get another coat of sealer here because I know I'm going to be going more into that area. So by sealing this, I'm going to be able to pull that weathered wood off easily. And then I'll be using black chiffon still though. Yes. Is your first one white on? Yep. Yeah. No, we never did. We should have. Is the 3 whites next to each other because it's crazy really how different they are. Beadboard is a white, just a true white. That was just my opinion. Yep. And then white swan is a mellow white. And then vintage linen is a pink-based white. But I've heard people describe them differently than that. So I want this to be dry. And the sealer is going to go in between the trimming pieces. So I want to try and make sure I get that as dry as possible. Right now, while the big top's warm, it's going to be gummy. So I need to let it cool off for a hot minute. Ouch. Gosh, that hurt.
Well, isn't that interesting? If you can dry it, or I can dry it.
Yeah, I'm mad at the dryer because I just pinched my finger having to put it back. So one thing, oh, Janet, Texas, yes. I'm like, well, yes, of course you're right. Yep, white swan and crinoline for sure. I don't know, tarnished pearl. It's a taupey off-white with a gray base taupe as opposed to a brown base taupe. It's funny. So I think you can make the argument for putting a word right here. I think you could totally make that argument. But I'm gonna wait and see. So this is gonna, you know, it's clay, so it's really gonna absorb the heat. You have your two browns. We have layered chocolate and weathered wood. Weathered wood is a brown with a black base. Layered chocolate is a brown with an orange base. And I don't know that that's right, but that's how I remember, you know, like what I want to use. So I got just the smallest amount of weathered wood. So Pam just did a board for us. Ooh. So here's white swan, there's crinoline, and there's tarnished pearl.
Oh, yep, Sharon says they use beadboard a lot too. Hi, Lynn.
Yeah, beadboards. Ooh, Roman numerals. Oh, Sherry, I love how you're thinking, girl. Going to Phoenix next week. Yeah, that's going to be warm too, but it's that, I hate to sound, it's that dry heat. I know people make fun of that, but we go to Vegas in like July and August, and it's like, it's a dry heat. However, this last July, that was some heat. I don't care. Dry, not dry. It was just heat. It was just hot. And I've been there when it's been hotter, but so I want this to be watery. More watery.
Sheila, yes, to me, beadboard looks a little gray, but I'm getting cataract surgery next month, so I'll maybe change my mind.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It does have a little bit of a bluey.
You're so young, so I guess I shouldn't feel bad about that. Them telling me that I have the beginnings of cataracts, because Shannon's a baby.
It's Sheila. Well, Sheila might be a baby too.
Oh, Sheila was saying?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know how old Sheila is. Everybody I always figure is our age, Pam.
That's what I always think.
But I don't know why I know Shannon's a lot younger.
But we're so young at heart, we can have all ages.
I know. So I could start wiping that off, but I like to let it dry a little bit because
I'm 71.
Oh, now I've seen your picture. I wouldn't have guessed that. The picture on your profile. So I want to make sure that this gets down into those recesses on this really textured trimming piece. So we did end up using, this is Trimmings 1, this middle one. Trimmings 2 is the top one. And Classic Elements is the bottom. One of the hardest things I had a hard time, one of the things I had the hardest time remembering is the order to do the colors depending on what I want it to look like. Like if I want it to be more brown, who goes first? You know, the brown or the cream? And I don't know if I'm the only one that always had trouble with that. But I really have to think about it. So the reason for the layered chocolate versus dark and decrepit is dark and decrepit has an orange base to it. So I want to make sure I get that good in there. So if I wipe it back now, it's going to smear and I won't get a clean look on the flat surfaces. So my sides are going to be black, so it doesn't matter if my paint on the sides are a little wonky. So there are a couple of low areas that I didn't get paint in. And I really want those to be dark, those low areas. but I should have enough crust on this clay. I can't, you know, go crazy pushing it, but I should be okay. Right now, it just looks like a hot mess. I'll take the baby wipes,
She
please.
had both of her eyes done recently.
No
18 months ago,
way.
yeah, 18 months ago. I got to get both mine done, even the one I can't see out of.
Surgery. He replaced his lenses and he sees better. Oh,
Yeah, you got to pay. I think I have to pay extra if I want the lens in my left eye.
what do you mean the lens?
The cataract surgery, they take care of the cataracts, but they can actually put a lens in to make it so you don't need distance or.
Wait a minute, like a contact lens?
It's a permanent. It's out. You guys can probably explain it better, but it's like $1,000 more. It's out of pocket, but it's actually a lens. So if I wanted my good eye to be able to get rid of the cataracts, it will clear things up. But if I want it to actually be like a permanent lens, it's like a contact lens, yes. And I would not have to wear glasses at all. But I'm supposed to wear glasses to protect my good eye.
Yeah.
So, but it'd be nice to go to like a wedding or, you know, somewhere, something, every once in a while, just to not have stupid glasses on from morning to night, you know.
Jeez, I know.
I put them on at 7 o'clock in the morning and take them off at midnight or whatever. And it's like, blind as a bat without them. But yeah, so I just don't want to screw up my only good eye.
For
I
sure.
know it's such a common surgery, but I don't have a spare tire there. Yeah, the lens in your eye, yeah. So Lisa C might not have to wear glasses anymore.
I don't know. I'm in no hurry.
They say put it off until you hate.
She was totally new. So I think not just new to, because my eye doctor is out on medical. So I think she's new out of school. And so she just wasn't a very confident young gal, which is fine. But when somebody doesn't have confidence, it makes you question,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, you could get a second opinion for sure before you want to have the surgery. They say it's simple. I just wanted to do both at the same time financially. I don't see why they can't when I'm blind in one eye anyways.
Yeah.
It's stupid. They said they couldn't, and I'm going to fight that one.
I want to clean this one because it has the most detail to it. It's holding the most.
Lisa, that looks so pretty on
but see how good it matches?
Yeah.
Now, I want a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit more of the paint to go off. So I'm going to take a crappy brush like this. Get it in the water. And first I'm going to do this. Even though I'm going to go in and age in that area.
It's beautiful, they said, Lisa. They, the people.
Thank you. The people. Our people. So I'm just going and getting it. I want it to stay where dust would accumulate, but not where it looks like I didn't get the paint off.
They are perfect. They said your molds. Carol said your molds are perfect.
Thank you. We sure did think about that a lot, didn't we?
Hey, you don't know till you know. And even then, sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
When you think you know.
I'm happy with that one down there.
It's funny because on the screen, the top part does look a little more black, but it doesn't. In real, when you look at it, the colors are the same, the sepia color.
I can't read surgery all of a sudden this year. I have days where I can hardly. Sheila, that's what they told me would happen too. You just all of a sudden know. So I'm taking that same brush and getting my real watered down weathered wood. And I'm going to age this part.
It will go fast now, Lisa. Your eye very fast. Unfortunately, sorry.
Great. I'm also going to do that a little around the edge.
Oh my God, she's ordering food.
Apothecary labels is by my feet, isn't it?
Ooh, wait, I gotta put one away too. Get it out.
Okay.
Do you want numbers?
I love the Roman numeral idea. And now what you're going to want to use is the weathered wood paint. Oh, look at that vignette. It's so pretty.
Vignettes.
All right, let me paint. Let me think. I got to think about this. I'm a liar. Not yet. I want just a little heavier paint
Ooh, you could use any of these.
right here. I wiped off just a little too much. So I'm just kind of mushying it.
Those look like headbands to me. Oops, sorry.
Let's see. Yeah, I like that better. Maybe a little darker in there.
Thank you, Monta. She said very pretty, Lisa.
Thank you. Now and then just kind of blend that edge in a little.
I don't know what letters, numbers you were thinking.
Might be just a little too strong there. I think that's better. Let me see. Do I have the same issue down there? Just a little. Okay. Where are they, Pam?
Oh, right here. I didn't know if you wanted any.
I want all of them.
Okay. There you go. There's a little thingy.
So while I understand that this has Roman numerals, they won't take up enough room for me. So I'm going to use, I think, these, I think. Now, I don't look at how this translates.
You caught us, Judy. Good.
This could be too big. I'm going to have to look. All I look at is if I like the way it looks. And typically I do XVII. That's just going to be too big. So that's not going to work. Uh-oh. Now the a Y and an R missing.
What?
I know the R is not missing because I put it back yesterday. So, so if we did, let me see. If we did VII and put an X with it.
Oh, I see. There are ones.
Oh, this is IX. So that doesn't, IX doesn't work. Let me see. So there's the X. So that would be 18. But that's not big enough. So that won't work. All right.
Thanks, Deb.
So I mean, you don't need anything, but let's just for shits and giggles.
What about the letters mold? You
Could do the letters mold for sure. But I'm also thinking transfer, like off the New Roses mold. You know, they have some wording. Let's just see what a word would look like. Joy. Nah, not feeling that.
You just want some words from.
Yeah, let's try that. It's in the very top of the drawer because there are roses on here, so that'll work. So you guys, be super careful with these. I had all the letters yesterday. Ooh, but I wonder if you did, could you do the established? Established. This is so fun and whimsy and flowy, and these are too black, is what.
Are you talking about this? This says like rosary, right? Rosary or right there.
Yeah. Yep. See if any of those work.
Oh, I bet they will.
Oh, and it's the same color. That's why I save all my little scraps. So let's see. Does Rosa, this is going to be perfect.
There we go.
Can you Google this word DAMASCENA and see what the translation is?
Well, these guys will have it done in a second. I'm so slow. Come on, I can't even get Google up. You coming?
Hi, Shane.
Okay, DAM.
ASCENA. What's the translation?
Damask rose.
So that must mean damask?
Rose. Damascena. Latin for Damascene rose. Oh, it's a type of a rose.
That's fun. It's Latin, eh?
More commonly known as damask rose.
See this? Oh, here's what's cool.
Yes.
Is you
Girls,
can.
right? Thanks, girls.
Oh, that looks good. Just the rosier.
Oh, that's
and
pretty.
that probably makes more sense too.
That's pretty. Pretty.
Okay, let's see this way. I'm going to give you this back.
Okay.
Here, what the heck, but save some time. I'll give you these two back as well.
Do I need to staple
I'm not sure. That's a really good question there, Pammy.
them? Yep.
This is the exact same color, you guys. Like, exactly. Oh, boy, those girls know what they're doing there at IOD.
Yep. They sure do.
Okay. Now I need a stick. Remember that this has been sealed already. So, no worries. And it's had plenty of time. I got the black spine out.
Squeaky feet.
Oh, it's going to be so pretty.
It is perfect. I like it.
Does that look spaced right? I feel like it should go up just a smidge higher.
Is it stuck already? No.
Yeah, right there is better. Okay. I love this.
Perfecto. Yes, just on replay, Deb. You caught part of it.
See, so now it's like, it's
Gracie.
swirly like everything else is swirly.
How much is a smidge?
I think it's about a 1/16 of an inch.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
think. But I bet you it's, well, depending on scale, right? If you're moving a piece of furniture and you say to move it a smidge, that's probably inches.
Yeah.
So it's all
Oh,
relative.
listen to you.
I know. Don't ask me. My kids learned not to ask me the, oh, wrong side, Lisa. Not to ask me those kinds of questions. Oh, I love this. All right, so now I'm going to use black Schwan. I think I can turn this off. Because then all I do is put the picture at the end. So I don't know where our letter R went, unless
Don't say
it's...
that I didn't dump anything out, I promise.
No. It's good thing we know where to get more. All right, so I'm going to take...
Another one of those sets you need two of, really?
All right, black Schwan.
Noir.
And this I don't want to dry. And mine's really thick because I'm at the bottom of the jar.
Shannon, I don't have an inlay. How did I miss that one? And guess what, Shannon? It's the one that comes in blue too. Sorry.
And crazy, the blue was more popular.
Yeah, it was.
Just get a little bit more on there. New baby wipe. My other ones are all dirty.
Yep.
Tell me black Schwan isn't just magical. Like, it just so is.
It's just everything.
It is. It's the yin to the yang. It's just everything.
Ooh. Oh, Shannon said, oh. I am so curious as to what will be in the new release.
Who's saying that?
Everybody. No,
Oh.
Shannon said it.
Oh,
I'm sure they're all wondering.
yeah. We've been sworn to secrecy. I don't know if they even are allowing us. Well, we haven't seen it yet, but let us talk about how many items there are.
Yeah.
But
when
it's
is it going to be
the
released?
biggest one yet. I think they projected sometime in September is what they told the public.
It's the biggest holiday one.
I think it's, yeah. All right, we're gonna go to the black. Oh, black velvet. I don't use that because nothing will come out of it. So I've been using little black dress.
That's beautiful. I take September. Yeah, September's right around the corner, girls. It does seem fast. I swear we just unboxed the last.
I know.
Lord, goodness gracious.
You know, everybody's still at the mercy of shipping, though. I think they wanted that summer release sooner. And I don't know this, but I don't think that they wait for one before they order the next, because I think it takes longer than that. But I don't know.
This is beautiful, Lisa.
Thank you.
Better start saving my pennies. That's right.
I know.
Jeez.
I feel like there's so much panic around that
Lisa,
release.
is there a little black dress DIY paint, or when you use the LBD, are you talking about paint couture metallic paint?
Oh, that's another really good question. So I am talking about DIY paint. Normally, when I do the sides of my tiles, it's always with black velvet. But we're at the bottom of the jar, and I'm waiting for my quart to get here. before we can refill. So,
Yep. LBD.
and it's
is-
coming. I just got the notification. It's my paint order will be here Tuesday.
So the pink couture metallic black is called LBD. Little
Yeah,
Black Dress.
it's called
Gotcha.
Little Black Dress too. And that would be pretty too. It'd be a little, sparkly.
Oh yeah, with inflation, we better start to save our quarters. Yes. Oh, you're Celis. How are you, Fred? Can you at least tell us how many pennies we need to save?
Oh man. This
It's
one,
supposed to be the largest release. You said.
hold on, let me think for a second.
But maybe some of them are smaller or something. We don't know.
Between 400 and 500 for everything.
Yikes. So much. So if it's a
I'm
big
just
release.
pulling some of the,
Black velvet is a softer black sheen, and Little Black Dress is dark. Oh, did I scare the dogs? That was too cruel. And Little Black Dress is like a pure black.
and it's funny because that's all I used to use was Little Black Dress. And then I started using Black Velvet. So, and the truth is there's not much difference between them.
No, I really only noticed it like on a big piece of furniture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I agree.
little things like this, it doesn't really.
All right. Just going
Oh
to.
yeah, tell your hubbies to get you gift certificates to Sweet and Sassy Treasures. And then you don't have to spend your money. Let the family buy it for you. Right, Lisa?
Yeah, Claire always gets gift certificates.
Oh yeah, there's a few people that do. You can do
Yeah.
it right online. They can just go online and order a monetary amount, right?
Yep.
Easy. I don't know if Joan's still here, but she used to come in. People would come in and get excited. Look what my son or my daughter picked up for me when we had the store.
Her
right?
husband just
And her husband
ordered
did
for
that.
her. Yeah.
I think it's great.
And I think I sent Joan the pickup.
Give me something I want, right?
Okay. I don't want to touch this because everything's still wet.
Peggy, is Christmas going to be limited editions?
So I don't have any like insider information on that. But in the past, it has always been. So I think there was the one year where they did Pretty in Plaid, which wasn't limited.
Yes, Aracelis, that is the inlay that is blue also. But this is the
Okay.
sepia. Sorry.
I just got that the way that I want it.
It's
I don't know if I'm going to add crackle or not. I have to look at it and see. So I'll show you yesterday's, for those of you that may have come in late. So there's yesterday's with the crackle on it. And I'll be listing this in my store as soon as I figure out a price for it.
That is so cute.
So I could crackle this one, and it may look really cool. I would love some snowmen. I love snowmen too. You guys, I can't wait to show you in my pottery class last week. I just hand built 3 snowmen.
What?
And all my pottery will be for sale as soon as I, figure it out and get comfortable enough. And, but I can't wait to see what they look like this week.
Lisa, Ari says, what DIY glue would you use for the Delft glue inlay?
Let me look at it. I'm guessing Hey Sailor is what I'm guessing. Let me open one up and I'll be able to tell you.
You didn't open one up yet, right?
No, but it's going to be Hay Sailor.
Wait, is Hay Sailor upstairs too from?
No, I brought it back down. Let's take a look. I only kept the black one for myself because I don't need two. When I have so many projects I need to, or products I need to feature. So we'll look at one of the bigger ones. Definitely Hay Sailor. And I might add a little bit of white to it, but I'm betting that it's going to be good exactly as it is. But if it's too blue, then add a little bit of white swan to tone it down a little. But it's definitely Hay Sailor.
Did you get a picture of this yet, or should I set it out there?
I have a picture. So yeah, that'll be really pretty. You know what? Grab pedal pusher for me real quick, please. I have another thought. Pedal pusher is a blue that Debbie was going to retire, but we could still order it, and it was really popular for me. We should have one up there on the shelf.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry. It might be too soft.
It's gonna be.
So I think this is too soft. So Hay Sailor would be perfect. Thank you. But yeah, if I'm a betting girl, Ari, I would bet that you would need just a little bit of white in there. That's what I'm guessing. But I never get stuff right. I was sure the black one would be more popular. So that shows you what I know. So what do you guys think about crackle? Yes or no? Whoops. Yes or no to the crackle?
I don't know. It's awfully lovely how it
Yes.
is.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward yes too. Can
Yeah.
you get me the it should be right here. The step 1 and step 2, just the step 1 is all I need right now.
These little guys right here. Inkerter.
Nope. I want pentart. So now I'm just gonna wipe this edge just a little bit.
Here there. Nope, crackling paste.
No, it should be. I just used them yesterday. They should be right. Should be right. Oh, I put them back on the cabinet in the back room. So this is a good opportunity for me to show you how thick to put on part 1. A Sailor in white. But I would use white swan, Erie, because it's just a smidge creamy. And I think that's going to do wonders to get you close to the Delft color.
There you go.
I think beadboard might be a little too white, and vintage linen for sure would be too bright. So here's Fine Line Crackle Part 1.
Yes, no. Let's see.
Oh.
Thank you. I'll show you when I'm done. Woo! Harry's gonna do something with the Hay Sailor.
Oh yeah, I'll be anxious to see. So I'm going to use.
This the one that takes all night? No.
You can speed dry this. So what you want to do, because it goes on white, you're able to really tell coverage. So you want to make sure that you don't skip any spots unless that's by design.
That looks crazy. You know, it looks like you're painting.
Oh,
it
I
with
know,
white.
right?
I'd be having a heart attack if I didn't know it was in it.
And then the direction does matter. So I try and vary my directions a little bit.
And the amount you put on too, right?
Yeah, like here, I'm drawing it way too much. That's way too thin. So I'm going to thicken that up. So I look at it as I'm laying it on top, not painting. And then I do the trim too. But I almost always have to use the heat gun to get my crackle to appear. It usually doesn't do it on its own. And I think then people think like it didn't work, and it's like it just needs that heat for the chemical reaction to be triggered. Now with step 2, the thicker,
Oh, you're going over the whole thing.
oh, I love the crackle on the trimming pieces. The thicker you put the step 2, the wider the cracks. And I like mine to be pretty spaced out. So I put that on about as thick as what you see me doing here. And then I also do the sides. And what you can do on the sides, if you wanted, is you could do the white decrepit dust or white wax. But I usually just use the dark still, and it gives you a hint of the cracking.
Shannon said, no, you already sealed this, so it goes over the sealer.
Yes. Yep. So here you get a really good idea of how thick I'm putting it on. But on the sides, you know, it's like, who's going to really see that? So if you're going to conserve product, that's where
Does
I
part
do
one
it.
need to dry first?
Yes. But you can force dry it with a heat gun.
Don't, though.
I typically don't, because with paint couture, you can't. And so it just always makes me nervous that I'm going to mess something up and then I'd be upset. But I love that you're getting a real good idea of how thick. You know, if you drag like that, it's not going to do anything. I need the good coverage. I'm on my last side. Then the other thing I do is, as this is drying, I make sure that it's not sitting on a flat surface because I don't want it to stick. I'm pretty sure that this is just glue, some sort of glue.
Well, I thought you meant like a surface on an angle. No, you mean like
Yeah,
on the
something
drying-
so that it's
drying
off.
rack or yes.
Yeah, so it's off the tabletop.
2 quarts of paint or something.
What is it? Is that dry already?
Maybe drying fast.
All right, I'm gonna get that in water. So now I'll set it on top of like, it doesn't
Sharon,
really
now you
fit
get
on
to
there.
see, now you get to know.
Oh gosh darn it.
What was that?
Something way
Here.
too big.
Well, that'll work.
Oh wait, this might work. Hold on. There we go. Good enough.
You want another bowl like that? Just do 2 bowls.
They won't fit. I usually use 2
Here.
small containers, and I'm just
Perfect.
there we go. Jeez.
That was fun.
I didn't get part 1 on that little edge right there. So I'm just gonna remedy that real quick
Is
because
this the stuff you've got to make sure you have a dry brush?
you know what? I don't know anything about that.
Oh.
So maybe. So let's think about this. If you didn't have a dry brush, all that would mean is that you're diluting it. But I'm pretty sure
Tony, you're a betting girl. LOL, you're a betting girl.
this is just
Yeah, she is.
glue in water. That's what I think it is. Because Pam and I were in a workshop where we used Elmer's glue once. Can I?
Yeah, and it worked.
Yep, and it worked. But you didn't get the fine line. I don't know. Pentair's got some magic stuff going on, man. They've got this all figured out. All right, the next time you see this, it's going to be crackled and varnished.
Yay.
Thanks, you guys, so much for being here. You don't want any water involved, Sheila. You are so right. I am still so mad at the basement.
Yes, she is.
Is the top portion. It's an inlay, Shane. It's the Delft Noir inlay. Thanks, you guys. I so appreciate you so much. And
Thanks, everybody.
I will see you soon. Bye, guys.